City Series cigars and Citrus 7s, black cement 3s, 4s, the hairs and bread 11s. No doubt that I'll be wearing some fire at any sighting. With these Doran Becker 5s, you can see me in any lighting. It's exciting, I'll be flexing to the coldest degree.
What's up, everybody? It's Sneakerhead M Checks. Now, although I've always been a bigger sneakerhead or sneaker collector than I ever was a sneaker reseller, I have done quite a bit of sneaker reselling over the years. I've always been a sneakerhead first and reseller second, but reselling sneakers was something that I started doing as a young kid because I wanted money to be able to buy shoes to add to my collection, but I didn't have any income, so that was my way of getting extra cash to save up for sneakers or whatever else I wanted to get. And as I got older, I continued doing so because I never stopped being a sneakerhead and I could always use the extra cash. So even as I got old enough to work other jobs, I still kept doing my reselling on the side. Now, I know everybody's angle on reselling and experience with it is going to be different based on your sources or plugs, type of clientele you have, and how you can get the sneakers that you're selling to your buyers, whether that be shipping or meetup. But for me personally, reselling has pretty much gotten to the point where it's almost not even really worth it anymore for a few reasons. One of them is because everybody's a reseller nowadays. Like everybody. There's just so much competition now. And see, I'm a very competitive person, so usually I don't mind competition, but it's not about that in this situation. A big influx of new resellers came about around 2020 when the pandemic hit. Reselling had always been a lucrative thing for years prior, but it really got crazy during the pandemic because people weren't physically going into stores as much at this point since a lot of people were staying at home. So a lot of these stores were making less sales at the time, and because of that, they were more willing to backdoor pairs to resellers. And once more and more people started to realize what was going on, they all decided to jump on the reselling bandwagon. Now, that was all fine back then during the pandemic. People had extra money to spend, the hype on ones was insane, and a lot of general release shoes had pretty decent profit margins right out the gate as soon as they released, so there was a lot of money being made. Bots were booming at the time, so if you were into that with a good setup, you were definitely eating. The problem is, times have changed, but all those resellers are still here, and we still getting more and more. The amount is still growing. We're not in the pandemic anymore. People don't have stimulus checks or unemployment checks to just kind of spend on stuff that they don't need. So on average, people don't have as much money to spend on sneakers now as they did then, but they have even more resources to acquire sneakers now. Jordan and Nike have raised the retail on their sneakers since then, and they're also producing a lot of releases in higher quantities now. So with all that, there's really less and less money to be made on reselling shoes nowadays. There's so many pairs that brick now, which means they're not profitable for resellers when they come out. It used to be almost every Jordan and Dunk release was a guaranteed flip. So not only was there a larger flip per unit because you had the lower retail and higher demand, but you also had a release damn near every week that you could eat off of. Now we're getting more and more releases sitting at retail, not selling out online, not selling out in the stores, sitting in the stores days and weeks after release. Or maybe they'll sell out, but the market's not too much over retail, so nobody's really trying to buy them for more than retail from you. A lot of pairs now are going under retail on the market and going on sale in stores. So instead of having something that you could profit off of coming out almost every week, now you may have to wait 3-4 weeks before something even comes out that you'll be able to make some money off of. And when I look at it as a whole, for me, as of right now, a lot of the time reselling ends up being a lot of work for not enough money. You know, I gotta spend time and money getting the shoes, dealing with getting to the store or waiting for shipping, going back and forth with potential buyers, people flaking, people wasting your time, ask you a million questions just to say, oh, I'll think about it. And once I get a buyer, if I gotta ship to them, I gotta package the shoes up, print out a label, tape the box up, get to the store to drop the package off, and then hope that it doesn't get lost or stolen in transit. If it's a meetup, you gotta find a time and a safe place for y'all to meet up at. You have to deal with traffic and people be late, and it just ends up becoming hours of work to make what, $20, $30, $40, $50? To me, that's not worth it. Because see, here's how I look at things like that. I'm gonna look at how many hours I'm gonna spend doing something, and then divide that by how much profit I'm gonna make doing that. That's gonna give me my hourly rate for doing whatever I'm doing. And that usually puts it into perspective. Because when I look at it like that, I realize a lot of these releases would be paying me under minimum wage. And to me, that's not worth it, knowing that I could make more picking up almost any other job around here. And I know when you're doing something you love, it's not always about the money. And I love sneakers, but like, I don't love getting my time wasted. I don't love getting flaked on. Like, I don't like that stuff. Also, I don't really get the same enjoyment out of selling shoes if I know that the person buying them is just buying from me so that they can resell them. I mean, in general, I really don't care what you do with a shoe after you buy it from me, because money is money. As long as I get the amount I want, you can do whatever. But see, when somebody wants a shoe for themselves, like, I always have good prices. So like, usually when somebody wants a shoe for themselves, like, they're just gonna buy it. Here and there, I'll get a, oh, can you do a little bit less, or can you do this and that? That's fine. There's nothing wrong with negotiating. But see, the people who be trying to buy from you to resell always try to lowball you because they trying to make a buck. And I'm not mad at them for that. I respect the grind, I respect the hustle, get your money. But like, bruh, what you think I'm trying to do here? Like, there don't be enough room for that on most of these pairs. And that's what I'm trying to say. Now, I know there's still plenty of resellers who are still getting money in 2024. A lot of people have been saying reselling is dead. It's not. It's just not what it was before. Certain lanes of it are dead. But you know, there's different types of resellers, and some of those resellers are still getting money, no problem. One kind being early resellers, which if I really wanted to resell, that would be ideal for me to get into. But the way the market fluctuates on unreleased shoes, it just throws another risk into reselling that I don't think I'm willing to to take on top of the other usual reselling headaches. For some releases in the future, I may tap in if it's really worth it, but for the most part, I think I'm good. For right now, at least. I also know there's resellers that go around looking for steals and deals to flip, but that's just a lot of time and effort searching online or going to places to buy from people or stores, and I really don't have that much time. I work 4 jobs, not including reselling, so that really doesn't work for me. And then I know there's also the resellers that make good money doing big buyouts and then flipping each pair individually. That's a lane I can get into, but that's also rather time consuming. If I'm doing buyouts, whether it's big or small, but especially on a big buyout, with the amount of really good looking fakes out there, on any buyout I do, I want to thoroughly authenticate each pair that I'm buying. My main priorities with any reselling I do is getting money and making sure my buyer receives the item exactly how I advertise it with confidence that everything's authentic. So I wouldn't want to cut any corners with that, and the time that I would spend having to authenticate all these shoes and the time it's going to take to resell each pair is going to add up. And although I could probably make some good flips off of that if I buy at a good bulk price, like I said, that would be a lot of time. Time that I personally feel like I would find more value putting into making YouTube videos. And I don't want anybody to take that as like me looking down on reselling or anything like that, because I'm not. It's just that I've been collecting sneakers for a really long time, like almost 2 decades now. I've been through numerous sneaker eras, I guess you could say, and I just have so much experience and knowledge that I can share with you guys on here that most other YouTubers can't. And I feel like with reselling, it's not the same. Like, I mean, I guess people could trust me more because I have such a long-standing reputation and I've been in the sneakers for so long. A lot of people will probably feel more secure as far as authenticity is concerned. And not that those things don't matter, because they definitely do, but they're not nearly as unique as a lifelong sneaker obsession that has taught me all the stuff that I've learned, you know, over the years with this. I didn't have to learn all the things that I've learned and have all the experience that I have on sneakers to resell. Like, I'm not really providing anything unique or out of the ordinary that another regular person who just got into sneakers a couple of years ago couldn't provide as a reseller. And that's no shade or offense to anybody that resells or just got into sneakers. I'm just saying I want to capitalize on what I feel like makes me different, not something that everybody and their mama is doing, you know what I mean? So at any point where something like reselling just becomes like really time consuming, I'd rather just cut it off there and put that time into making videos, because I just see way more potential for me on YouTube than reselling. Now, with all that being said, considering the type of videos that I make, it's almost impossible for me to completely get away from reselling. Because if you look at my videos on here, most of them are reviews on unreleased sneakers. When I get these shoes to review, I gotta buy it. Now, if it's a shoe that I like that I was gonna end up copping anyway, a lot of times when I'm done with the review, I just keep them for myself, and that way I can wear them before they release. But when it's a shoe that I don't want, obviously I gotta resell it. And there's a few other instances where I may end up reselling here and there. So if you ever see me selling some kicks after this, don't hit me with the, oh, I thought you don't resell anymore. Because like I said, I can't get away from it completely. But I really have minimized how much I do, and I plan to keep it that way, at least for now. So when you think of me, think of a sneakerhead, a YouTuber, rapper, not a reseller. Thank you all for watching. Everybody, do me a favor and leave me a comment. Let me know what your opinion and personal experiences on reselling. Also, let me know which pair of Jordans that haven't come out yet that you want to see me review next. If you haven't done so already, please do us both a favor and subscribe to my channel. And make sure you hit that little bell icon next to the subscribe button and select all. That way when I put a new video out, you get notified. You won't miss out on anything. Thank you all for watching. Everybody, please stay safe and healthy out there, and I'll see you next time.